Hey everyone, I'm Ian Douglas, the author of the website techinterview.guide. I do live streams every Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern about topics relevant to interview preparation for the tech industry. I occasionally record longer Q&A sessions, and I've started to break those into smaller videos to post. And there'll be information at the end of this video about how to get in contact with me if you have additional questions. Let's get to it. Alrighty, let's see. Next question on the list. After job applications close, how long should you wait to hear if you have an interview? That one can be a little bit tricky, especially in the tech industry. Sometimes job postings don't get taken down right away. Sometimes they'll stay up and they'll keep taking candidates for the role. Sometimes they'll close it, as soon as they get like some quantity of applicants, they'll just close it right away so they don't get absolutely flooded and inundated with resumes and applications and so on. Because there is a practical limit to how many of those they can get through in order to hire. I think Lee shared a stat, or someone else shared a stat on this coffee call that I was on last week, where they were saying on average it costs about $10,000 to hire somebody, which is pretty accurate. I've heard it can be anywhere between 10 and 20,000, depending on the number of hours that they spend kind of going through the application process and all the time of the HR department and managers and engineers taking time to like interview people and doing follow-ups and doing background checks and like all the literal time that it takes and the cost involved of all those things, that it can cost upwards to $10,000 to $20,000 to interview somebody and hire somebody. But don't use that as a thing to feel guilty about, like, oh, I shouldn't apply for that job then because I'm not worth that. Yes, you are. Apply for that job. You're worth that money. It's their expense, not your expense. You're not costing them that money. That's their cost of doing business. Apply for the job anyway. So the question is, after job applications close, how long should you wait to hear if you have an interview? It depends on the job. It depends on the company and the size of the company. It can vary quite a lot. If they have hundreds and hundreds of people that apply, it may take them some time to go through, compile, kind of the first list of 50 people or 100 people, and then it takes time to call all those people, wait for phone calls back, have those initial interviews. So unfortunately, it can take some time. If they post a brand new job, they're going to get resumes probably within the first couple of hours of posting that job. They're probably getting applications. Does that mean they start calling people right away? Not necessarily. Some companies will wait a period of time because they want to make sure that they've got like a good mix of people that they can sort of draw from. Some companies are like, you know what, we're in a hurry. So like the first 5 people that apply, we're just going to call them. Some companies will post the job anyway, even though they've got like an internal referral or something like that. Some companies have to post a job publicly. So again, like going back to the LA County Office of Education that I worked at in California, just as one example, they had to post everything publicly. Even if internally somebody was already going to get promoted into that role, they still had to post it publicly. They still had to interview people because that was a public office position. They had to post it. And so there are different things around that. So there's no hard and fast rule about how long you should wait to hear whether you get an interview. Sometimes you'll put in an application, and some of you watching this stream, you'll be like, yeah, I applied for a ton of jobs and I didn't get a single phone call, and it's been months. Sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes you'll apply and you'll get a phone call within 24 hours. So it really depends on when they start looking at your applications and how well you're sort of standing out as a candidate. And we've talked about that a bunch on the stream. We're going to keep talking about that kind of thing on the stream. And so it is an important topic to talk about, and we'll definitely talk about it lots and lots on the stream of like, how do you stand out, for sure. Someone says, what a colossal waste of time. I don't really see it as a waste of time. I think because every company is a little bit different, it can be really tricky to kind of gauge how you're applying for those jobs, how many people are applying for those jobs, who's applying for those jobs, what kind of role is it, things like that. There are a lot of things to factor in and consider. So, sitting, waiting for the phone call. Yeah, that's a huge waste of time for sure. And that would be a huge piece of advice I would give to anybody watching this stream. If you apply for a job, Don't sit by the phone and wait for them to call. Keep applying to other jobs. Keep interviewing at other jobs. Don't ever sit and wait for one job to call you or not call you and then move on to the next company and apply there. You should always be networking, always be applying, always putting yourself out there. The job hunt is not a it's not a fast process. Generally, it's going to be a slow process, especially in tech, especially with a lot of jobs being remote. Companies are being a lot more careful about who they hire. They want to make sure they get the right fit. They want to make sure they get the right person, that it's someone that can do the job that they need. So yeah, don't ever sit by the phone and wait for them to call. Hey, thanks for watching. I love helping people out with interview prep, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If you found this Q&A useful, please consider subscribing. You can follow me on Twitch as well for the live stream twice a week. Check out techinterview.guide/streaming for more information. I also have a daily email series that you can subscribe to on the website. There are never any ads, and when you finish the series, I scrub your information out of my database permanently. Finally, if you have a question that you'd like answered on the stream, you can find my contact info on techinterview.guide. I prefer LinkedIn or email. If you leave your question in a YouTube comment, it might take me longer to find it, but I'll see you next time.